My name's Connor. I've been living in a Crosstrek for over a year. Yeah, so I've been living in my Subaru Crosstrek for over a year. I'm gonna go over a little breakdown of my setup in here, why I chose to live in a Subaru, and some of the benefits and cons of living in your car. Let's get into it. To start, I have my 200-watt solar panel. It's kind of a ridiculous setup, but I love it. I like to be unconventional. One of my best friends helped set up this A-frame rig just attached to my roof rack there. This thing is a beast, and I definitely get a lot of questions on it. I also have a Rhino roof rack. I wanted to go with something a little bit cheaper than a Thule. This thing works like a charm. You know, I keep all my camping gear, snowboard gear, any excess stuff that I need to get out of the way. Locks up, no problem, in the roof rack, out of elements. Definitely a great option. You don't want to get the Thule. Now go into the inside. We have my solar power cable coming in, non-invasive, just through the back door. We have a full-size 6 feet long bed, a pop-out table here. This is great for when I'm cooking and stuff. Full fridge, freezer, storage underneath. I keep my camper stove underneath the fridge. My solar is hooked up to a Jackery Explorer 1000. Obviously it's low on battery right now, but with that 200-watt solar panel, it gets charged up pretty quick. Underneath the bed, I have more storage that goes, that goes all the way across the length of the car. So there's plenty of storage underneath. It's kind of hard to do this one with one hand, but I keep miscellaneous stuff in there, stuff that I don't really need on a regular basis. I like to travel with a lot of people, so having the option to push up the front seats to a normal position to allow road trips with other people was essential for me, so I really wanted to put that design in there. Of course, you have more storage underneath the seats as well. So, why did I choose to live in a Subaru Crosstrek? Well, I lived in a Ford E150 cargo van for a number of years that I converted myself with the guidance of one of my best friends, TJ, and that was great. I went all over the country in that van, and it was super comfortable, and it was a dream of mine to always have a converted van, but I kind of grew out of that van. It was getting kind of old, so I decided to sell it and go to Asia, and Asia was kind of a reset for me. And when I came back, I decided I wanted to get one of my dream cars. I know Subaru Crosstrek might be kind of like silly for some people in terms of a dream car, but when I was a kid, I think that car came out in like 2013, something like that. It was just kind of like the perfect size, ideal car for me. I was always a fan of Subarus. So I just like wanted to show to myself that I could get this car, and I knew I was gonna work like crazy, and I still wanted to go on a lot of adventures while working and trying to find that balance. I decided to just live out of my car because, you know, if I was gonna be working like crazy, I didn't want to be paying crazy rent for an apartment that I was barely using. And in my mind, I really just need a place to sleep. And I'm super comfortable in very uncomfortable situations, and having a setup like this just allows me to go on my adventures. Having to work a lot, choosing to work a lot, I only given myself small windows to do other things that I want to do in my free time. So having a setup like this and living out of my car really eliminates a lot of preparation that I would normally have to do living out of my apartment or something like that. And you know, I wanted to save the money and not have to worry about paying thousands of dollars in rent every single month. So yeah, you know, there's a lot of pros, and of course there's going to be a lot of cons for living in your car. Granted, I save a lot of money. Being uncomfortable has made me more productive, you know, not having the luxuries of being able to sleep in comfortably, you know, being in the city during the summer. You kind of get cooked out of your car at 8 a.m. so you really don't have the option of sleeping in, which is great for me because coming back to the States this past year, I really wanted to set myself up more long term and start reaching towards some personal goals. So being able to force myself to be productive has been super helpful for me. But of course, you know, the little things definitely add up. Just, you know, having to drive to go take a shower, or, you know, drive to get groceries pretty often just because my storage capacity is pretty small compared to having, you know, an apartment or a home. Yeah, just, you know, not really having your own space. Of course, there's gonna be, you know, obvious cons like that, but for the most part, it's been great. I really enjoy living out of my car. I am very comfortable. I sleep like an angel, especially during the winter. Actually, surprisingly, the best sleep I've ever had in my entire life has been in this car in like 0-degree weather. It's crazy. You know, you throw on a 0-degree sleeping bag, and I have a heated blanket in the winter, and I sleep like an angel. But for anyone who's thinking about living in a car, whether it be a Subaru or otherwise, there's easy setups, you know, without the whole crazy solar rig and everything. Just the wood alone was just a couple $100, pretty easy to put together. Take out some back seats where you can leave your seats in. So have a great little camper setup. If you're looking towards, you know, some big goal that costs a lot of capital, a lot of money, think about moving into your car for a few months. Always look into your different options. I always have done things a little bit differently than a lot of other people, so living in a car is a pretty unconventional thing. But if you're comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I say uncomfortable to an extent, you know, because most people could not live in their car, as they say. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna enjoy this view a little bit, and we're gonna get to work. Because yes, I do work.